my lovely gardening friends. I'm Mary, and you're watching Rocky Mountain Gardens. Today we're going to jump into some reminiscing about gardening since it's still January, and this is the time of year, and maybe for you too, that I start thinking about my garden for this coming spring. And I love to look back at my garden and what I've done in the past. So we're going to talk about two things today. One is this lovely garden folio. It is like an album, and I made it using instructions, I guess you could say, or a tutorial from Kathy King, who has a lot of different designs for albums and scrapbooking that you can make yourself. So this was one that I did make by myself using her pattern, and I'm going to show it to you today and show you how you can save pictures and memories from your garden that you love. And my second thing today is going to be organizing all of my tags that I have saved from the past for my perennials and my annuals. And I'm going to be using this little CD or DVD holder for that purpose. This is one that I got from my daughter, and she's not using it anymore, but you can still buy them. I actually saw them at Target the other day. And when you open it up, of course, you know, it has these pages for the CDs or DVDs that you might want to store in here, but instead, I'm going to be using it to organize all of my plant tags. So let's get started on both of these things today, and we'll begin with some looking back at my garden through my garden album that I made. Today I am enjoying the wonderful scent of this candle, which is called Winter Wonderland, and it just helps give some serenity, you might say, to my craft room, having a candle burning. I highly recommend it. So I used several different types of papers when I did this folio, and it's called a folio because it's kind of a little bit flimsy, and the binding is a little soft and easy to work with. But you can see I have my cover decorated nicely, all in a garden theme. And what I really enjoyed about putting this together, sorry about that, got to get the candle out of the way. What I really enjoyed about creating this album was giving me the opportunity to save pictures that are from my garden in various times. Now, here's one of my friends standing in my garden when I first moved into my house, and you can see it's basically just grass. And throughout this album, I showed different aspects of my garden, including the plants that I grow, my friends and family when they came to visit. All of those things are what made creating this garden so wonderful for me. It made it something I could share and, you know, have for everyone who would come to visit me, particularly in the spring, summer, and fall. So as you can see, this folio has lots of flips and flaps, and I won't talk about every photo in here, but you can see I showed my garden at different times of the year and my house. There's my daughter in one of the biggest snowfalls we ever had here in Colorado. But I have flaps and pockets. Oops. such as this pocket right here, where I have made little photo sheets to hold pictures from my garden, and little different scenes with family and friends, and those can just be slipped into the pocket. So I'll try to go through here a little bit more quickly so it's not so boring to you. Here's another really cute pocket. Let's make sure I have this in frame for you. A pocket. Here's another flap with an additional flap. So I could place pictures here and on the flap. And then this actually, sorry, I forgot about that. This is actually a little folding folio of its own where I can put pictures and notes on all sides. And I have to say, I have been negligent about creating a lot of captions and little notes about each of these photos. So I do need to get better about that. On this page, more pictures and room for writing sentiments. I can tack on a picture almost anywhere. This flips up and this one flips up, and then I have a little tuck space right here for photos. And then I have magnets that hold that together. And this has a series of pockets. As you can see, let me make sure that's in frame. It's a series of pockets for lots of photos. I have lots of space for adding more as time goes by. Here I have some small little tags that fit in this pocket. And then here, this flips over. I love all these flips and flaps. And then I have these pages, small pages, that I've placed photos on. And here's more. It gives me lots of space for all of my photos that collect over the years. And as I said, I've got lots of room for note-taking, which I should get on, shouldn't I? Get those done. Back here, we're getting toward the end. Here I have another set of pockets for lots of photos to be inserted. Here, and then on the top, I have a very large photo page. And that slips in this deepest pocket. And then on this side, I have a side pocket with little photo tags. And some of these I've actually made into sort of accordion folding little booklets of their own. Oopsie, I think this one goes like this, yes. So all of these are tucked into this side pocket here. And then here's my last page. And this is an L-shaped pocket right here where I can place very large photo sheet for lots and lots of photos, and a little tag for more writing in my memories. And then on the back page here, the very last, there is a flap here that opens with some photos of different construction things I did in my yard. More photos and family here for gatherings in my yard. And that is my garden photo folio. And I really hope you enjoyed seeing it. I hope it is something that can inspire you to do a collection of photos from your garden as well. Now, as a quick bonus to this video, I wanted to add in this idea I got, I believe, off Pinterest. And here is how I have been storing my plant tags for years. And I just use these Ziploc bags, and then I put on the outside here what is to be found in each bag. So this is a container plants. Here I have shade-loving perennials. And then in this bag, I have sun-loving perennials. But I wanted to have something that would be a little easier to use and give me lots more efficiency, I guess you could say, especially when I'm shopping every spring. And so what I plan to put in my DVD case are the tags for the plants that I know do really well and are successful here in our Colorado environment at high altitude. And we have low water situation, very dry air. So I'm going to put together what works well in my garden, save all of those tags in my DVD case so they're right handy and an easy reference for me in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and organize them and put them together, and then we'll be back and I'll show you how I did this. So guys, I have organized all of my plant tags, and you can see, if we start here, what I did is I began with my sun-loving perennials, and I grouped them by colors. So I have purples, and then we go into pinks, and over here we have some reds and yellows. And so each section of my book switches. Here we have some greenery, and then we move into shade-loving perennials. And I wanted you to notice that when you get these tags, they often have these little pointy parts that are used to place into the soil of the plant you're purchasing. And I just cut those off with my scissor, and I looked on the back to make sure I wasn't cutting off any of the instructions. So I cut it off in order to make it flat so it would sit better in these little pockets of the DVD case. But anyway, getting back to this, I have my shade perennials, and then we flip over here, more shade perennials. For example, I grouped all my hostas together. And then here, and some of the tags do slip a bit in the pocket, but that's okay. My main goal was to have everything organized and visible and easy to pull out, just in case I'm going shopping and I want to get the same plant. And also I have access to the instructions on the tag for taking care of that particular plant. So going here, we're in the very back. I have my sun annuals that can take strong sunlight, and I have them grouped by colors like yellow and pink. And then also here I have my shade annuals, because I do have a lot of shade in my yard and I like to have color in the shade. So I have my Terrenias and begonias and coleus and so on, and I have them grouped as well. And that will make it very easy for me to use this little book when I am starting up my plans for my garden this spring. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed these two projects that you can do in these cold days of winter, because when you're a gardener and you love plants, you start getting that itch in January after Christmas. I know I do every year. And making an album of some kind, and it doesn't have to be quite this fancy, but something to have your memories of your garden and to sit and look at and enjoy in the winter time. And then, of course, organizing your plant tags and making some plans for the spring is always an sort of an uplifting thing to do at this time of year, because we know the spring is coming. We just have to be patient, don't we? So if you have any comments or questions about what I did in this video, don't forget to just leave a comment below. I'll be happy to answer or help you with what I did. And I hope I see you again very soon. Have a lovely, lovely